prone to chronic constipation? Have you tried everything under the sun? Nutrition changes, supplements, especially Miralax, and feel like you're still struggling, or you feel like without the supplementation, there would still be an issue. And so, really, we're just masking the issue. Well, if that sounds like you and this sounds familiar, then this video is for you. This is for parents seeking a drug-free alternative to constipation relief for their kiddos, or even for themselves. So one of the things is especially when it comes to constipation, is 12% of children experience chronic constipation. And so, it especially tends to really show up between the preschool and toddler years. That's when we really start to notice something is going on. And that's when some of the digestive things start popping up and we start supplementing, except for the fact that a lot of times we supplement with things like Miralax, and Miralax is not actually studied to be safe, found ever been researched to to be safe to use amongst kids. Plus, like I said, it really feels like when you don't use a supplement or you don't use um, different diets, things like that, we just aren't getting the progress. And so when you take Miralax away, you still have the problem. And so we're really just masking. So what's the root cause? What's the underlying issue? And so what that comes back to being is this really is rooted in the fact that there's a neurological based root cause. And that means the nervous system. So the nervous system commands every cell, tissue, organ in the body, all the body systems, and especially the gut and the immune system. So when we're looking at the gut, when we look at the nervous system, we have a sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, which is the gas pedal, and we have a parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. Literally rest and digest. And so this is a direct correlation to how well our GI system is working and balancing. And so when we're stuck, rest and digest is the brake pedal, fight or flight is the gas pedal. And so what happens is when we're stuck on this gas pedal or we're stuck on fight or flight, our body is actually not able to focus on resting and digesting. So if you were to think about when you are running from a tiger or you're running from a bear, if your body were to be digesting at that moment, it would be utilizing vital nutrients, using your blood supply and the energy to go to those organs versus to peripheral muscles to run. And so it shuts down those systems and sends it to exterior to say, let's run. And then you would be free, you'd be safe from the tiger or the bear, and then you would sit down and you would rest. Problem is that modern stressors are no longer tigers and bears. And therefore, the issue is that modern stressors don't ever go away. So this is a very key factor and very key point because what would have happened is we would have run from the tiger or the bear, and then we would have sat down and we would have rested. We said it would have been we would have been either in danger or we would have been safe. But the tiger or the bear would be gone because if the tiger or the bear was still there, that would be a direct imminent danger on our safety and survival. So tiger or bear is no longer there, body relaxes. And so it's this gas pedal, body runs, body takes off, body goes into survival, body rests. And that's exactly what the body is designed to do. Stress is not inherently bad. And in the case of running from a tiger or a bear, it's stress or survival and tapping in and saying, okay, how can I get away from this dangerous situation? Or how can I protect myself? But then we would balance that out with resting when we're safe. The problem though is because our problems or our stressors are no longer truly life threatening, they present a really interesting issue where the stressor continues to be there. And so instead of it being a tiger or a bear, you either survive or something bad happens and then you rest. It's this anxiety that is constantly with us. And that creates what's called sympathetic dominance. So that means we're stuck on the gas pedal. We're stuck on the gas pedal because the body is never able to say, whew, I'm safe. And if the body is never able to say, whew, I'm safe, then we're not able to allocate those resources to those processes like resting, restoring, regulating, and digesting. And so this is where we end up really saying, okay, we can surface level, we can try to address some of the symptoms when we're addressing chronic constipation, but underlying what's going on. And this is underlying the body is stuck on this gas pedal and not able to push the brake pedal to really focus on digestion. And so, one of the things that we focus on with neurologically based chiropractic care is we focus on pushing the brake pedal and giving our bodies the time and space to relax so our body is able to focus on resting, digesting, restoring, and regulating. And so, directly, if our body is stuck on stress and we aren't able to rest and digest, we're going to immediately find those symptoms in the GI tract. And actually, GI is actually one of the first things that responds well to chiropractic care because it's something that is so directly related to the function and the health of the nervous system and the balance there. The other really cool thing is that pushing the brake pedal is directly related to the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system or the brake pedal. And they did research on stimulation of the vagus nerve and how that directly decreases inflammation in the gut as well. So not only are we decreasing stress, reallocating resources and energy in the body to the GI tract, but then in turn, we're also decreasing inflammation because the more our body can focus on there, and the more it's able to really restore and regulate. So focusing on root cause instead of just covering up symptoms, especially with things that um, we really haven't tested, and especially when there are other options available. So that's one of the key things. Get in, get scanned. We do neurologically based scans. We can see how regulated you or your child's nervous system is. If you're stuck on that gas pedal or they're stuck on that gas pedal, how much tension their body has, especially when we look at tension in the mid to low back, where the mid back meets the low back, and the low back, the nerves that come out of the low back go directly around to that GI system. So when we see a lot of tension and when we see a lot of inflammation in that area, plus we're stuck on the gas pedal, it's directly related to how well that GI system is functioning. So get in, get scanned, let us assess and see how we can help support your child or your digestive tract. So if you or your child are experiencing chronic constipation, here's an alternative, here's an idea. Think about what's going on versus simply supplementing and covering symptoms.